So in the last section, we're going to be talking about finding areas for triangles. And hopefully you guys remember from geometry that area was just, for triangles, 1/2 base times height, right? The problem is that if you're given only side lengths and angle measures, the base, unless you have like a right triangle, or the height, unless you have a right triangle, is not going to be a side or an angle measure. It's actually a really difficult geometric problem to get the base or to get the height if you don't have a right triangle. Alternatively, we can use one of these two new formulas that we're going to give you instead. So let's say we have our generic triangle labeled ABC. Can we stop talking, please? We can say that the area is going to be 1/2 side A times side B times sine of angle C, or 1/2 BC times sine of angle A, or 1/2 AC times sine of angle B. They're all kind of saying the same thing. If I look at this, if I look at the first one, I need angle C, I need side A, and I need side B. What type of triangle are we looking at here? It's a side angle side triangle. So if I have a side angle side, I can just use one of these formulas then to compute the area. So let's do a numeric example here. Okay, so find the area for a triangle where angle A is 43 degrees, side B is 10 millimeters, and side C is 27 millimeters. Just like before, we'll start by drawing a picture. So I'll draw, and then I'll label my angles and side lengths. If I look at what I have, what kind of triangle do I have here? It's a side angle side, which is great. So I can just say my area equals then 1/2 10 times 27 times sine of 43. And now it's just calculator time. So that's 9207. And what unit should be attached to this? So an area is measured in degrees. Millimeters squared. Got to have the squared on there. Am I going to be picky about that on test time? Yup. Warning now. But in reality, pretty easy problem, right? You just plug the numbers in the spots and press enter on your calculator and boom, Bob's your uncle, right? We have another version of our triangle area formula. So in this other formula, I'm going to define a new quantity. That new quantity is called the semi-perimeter. Hopefully you remember that the prefix semi means half. And I remember that the perimeter of a triangle is just the sum of the three sides. So the semi-perimeter is just A plus B plus C divided by 2, right? So our area formula here then is going to be based on using that semi-perimeter. It's going to be S times S minus A times S minus B times S minus C, all under the square root. Colby, what's up? Oh, okay. So let's do an example here. So say it says find the area of a triangle where A equals 5 meters, B equals 8 meters, and C equals 10 meters. Right away we can tell what kind of situation. Oh, I'm sorry. Before we move on to this example, what kind of triangle are we talking about here if we need to find A, B, and C? Yeah, side, 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 right? I got going so fast that we didn't say it, although we probably didn't need to, right? It was pretty clear by looking at it that it's going to be a side, side, side triangle because there's no angle measure anywhere. So if I look at this example, right away I can tell that's a side, side, side situation without even having to draw a picture, right? What do you remember we have to check first before we can dive first into a side, side, side situation? Great, yes, we have to make sure a triangle is possible. The way we check that is the sum of the two legs has to be greater than the hypotenuse. How do I know the hypotenuse is 10? 10 is the biggest number, right? So that's good. Triangle is possible. Okay, so since it's a side, side, side situation where the triangle is possible, I'm going to use that most recent area formula. Now I want everyone to watch me while I do this the wrong way. So I'm going to do 5 plus 8 plus 10 divided by 2 into my calculator. When I do that, I got 18. That doesn't seem right because 18 is bigger than any of those three sides. What did I do wrong here? Yeah, so right now, what's the only number being divided by 2? 10. The calculator's not broken. I just asked it to do something different than what I meant for it. What do I really want to do? My recommendation would be to use that horizontal fraction bar, or else put the entire numerator in a parenthesis. So I got 23 over 2, or if you're not into fractions, 11.5, whatever. So then my area is going to be the square root of 23 over 2 times 23 over 2 minus 5 times 23 over 2 minus 8 times 23 over 2 minus 10. And rather than typing 23 over 2 every time, I'm going to take advantage of the ants command on my calculator. And I get that. I don't want that stinky fraction, right? What do I want? Probably a decimal. So I'll do math, and then I'll pick the decimal option and just turn that number into a decimal. So that's about 19.81. What should the unit be on that?
Meters squared.
Meters squared. Very good. Everybody feel pretty good so far? Pretty easy, right? Like no big deal. I'm sensing a catch, Mr. Kulik. How are you going to make this harder for us? Because usually it doesn't stay this easy the whole time. Well, what type of triangles can I use that first formula on? Side angle side. On the second formula, what if you don't have one of those two? No. No, we're not going to do something else. Nope. We're still going to solve it for the area. We're just going to have to solve a little bit of the triangle until we have enough information to do either a side or a side angle side. So let's do an example of that. What type of situation do we have here? That's an angle side, that's correct. So to solve this for the area, I'm going to need either to make this into a side angle side situation or a side situation. Which one would be easier? Side angle side. Why? I only need to find one more side. So let's do that. Which side do you guys want to find? Angle or side B or side C? Does it really matter?
No.
No, but which one do we have all the information to find already? Would be for side B, right? Why don't I want to find side C first? Because I don't have angle C yet either. Now, is it hard to get angle C? No, but, let's go and find side B first. So we'll say sine of angle A over side A equals sine of angle B over side B. We'll cross multiply. And then divide by sine 40. And I get about 13.74 feet. So now if I'm going to try to do a side angle side, I have that side, I have that side. Which angle do I need? I need C. Need to find C anyway. Well, that's okay. Angle C is easy to get, right? Just 180 minus angle A minus angle C. And now that I have everything I need, I can do 1/2 A times B times sine of angle C. And that's basically as hard as they'll get for us, where you might have to do a little bit of solving before you can use your new area formulas, but it won't be so bad. Type in that number correctly? Did I type in? Okay. Oops, that's not right. Go away. Yes. So I have 67 point something maneuvers. 1/8. And the unit here should be feet squared. What do you guys think? Yeah, not too big of a deal, right? Pretty easy. Algebraically, like there's almost nothing to it, which is nice. So your final problem set of the year is going to be these area problems on 23 through 30. This will be due Sunday at midnight for the last problem set for the year 2024 for trigonometry. Also due by Sunday at midnight, if you have any late stuff from chapter 7, I'll still accept late things from chapter 7 up to Sunday at midnight, but anything prior to chapter 7 is now dead and buried, right? That was all due last Friday. Everybody's okay with that? Okay. I also today gave you guys your exam review. Remind me, what's the deal with the exam review?
5 points extra credit, and then you can use it.
Yeah, but you have to turn it in by
Before the
Friday.
end of school on Friday. You need to have it in to me. Can you turn it in early?
Yeah.
Yes. Before you turn it in, what should you do?
check your take pictures.
Take a picture, because what's the catch with this?
You're gonna post it on after the
Yeah, the solutions to the review will not be posted until 2:45 on Friday. So you would be well served to know what you turned in. So if you did something wrong, you're sure to study those kinds of problems before the exam, because you know your review isn't going to be able to help you much there. When you're working on the review, how thorough should you be? Very, yeah, because you get to use it. Can you write things like how to do the problem?
You probably should.
Yeah. Can you put formulas or facts or information you might need to do that kind of problem?
Good idea.
Yes, you can do that. In general, the idea here is I want to take this exam from being a memorization exam and turn it into a preparation exam, where if you did a good job on your review, it should be very easy to do well on the exam. I want to point out to you on the OneNote, under the exam tab, I have the equation sheet that I'm going to give you. I would recommend that as you're doing your review, that perhaps you make a note when you have to go to the equation sheet to find a formula or to look something up, so that you know to do that on the exam also, in case you forget that kind of thing. Right? If you had to go look something up off the unit circle, maybe make a note of it on your review that, hey, I looked up the unit, went to the unit circle to get this value, right? Those are things that might be a good idea to also include. The exam format will essentially be the same as the review. Should you bother studying things that aren't on the review? No. I want to narrow this down as much as I can for you. If it didn't make it on the review, I wouldn't spend any time worrying about it right now. The exam will basically be your review, but shorter. Okay? So you'll see the same types of questions, the same formats of questions. Should be pretty straightforward. Any questions about exam format or how to prepare or any of that sort of thing? Will I answer questions about the exam review before Friday? Yeah. If you have questions about things or you want to walk through something or want me to look at something you did, I will do that before Friday, but I'm not releasing any written out solutions until 2:45 on Friday. Yes, sir.
Please use the restroom.
Sure. What do you guys think?
That's a pretty good deal.
Pretty good deal, right?
Yeah.
Typically, it's with these constraints on your final exam, very realistic to do quite well without having to do like oodles of like repetition studying, right? If you did a good job on your review and you remember kind of how to do the stuff, especially if I can look at an exemplar, if I can look at an example problem, should be smooth sailing for you. Obviously, you'll want to do a little bit of practice, but you don't have to like drill and kill it to death because its memorization should not be a component here, right? At least if you did a good job on your review, very little memorization necessary. Everybody cool? Okay. The remaining 2 days in class this week, it's just time for you guys to work on your reviews. So today is the last bit of me talking to you as a group, short of 5 minutes reminding you that like, hey, your exam review is due, like make sure you do this kind of thing. Okay, dokes? All right, I'm gonna stop talking now. You guys can start on your final problem set, work on some missing thing or late thing that you need to get caught up on, or start on your review. Anything of those is fine.